And so the big difference here was that the time we had together, which was over the course of a couple days, really allowed us to come out of the gate focused on, okay, here's what the data is telling us. What does that suggest we need to be doing? Where do we focus? None of us had the capability to focus on all of it. And if you go deep enough into the data, you get some pretty good clues, if not absolute flat, hard data that says, hey, you know, where your instincts take you isn't where the benefits are to be had. We have a staff that understands why we're focused on the segments we're focused on. And we're not spending time and energy competing with one another for the establishment of priorities. We understand what the data says, we're trusting the data, and now we're trusting the process. You need help in deciding where you're going to focus your scarce resources, because again, I don't think any of us have the capacity to do everything we want to do. I don't think any business does, actually. The spot-on experience not only gives you that data analytic and guidance, it does something else that I think is often ignored, and that is that it helps to create a really strong culture in the organization. What you've got is everyone from admin, staff, all the way up through the CEO having a shared learning experience and having their voices heard as we make choices about what to do. That's what builds ownership. And if you got ownership, it's much more likely you're going to see things through to some productive end. And so that's been a benefit of Spot-On. It's so important sometimes to have fresh eyes looking at your data. You may think you know what you've got, but we all carry baggage about how we relate to the data. And so when you have fresh eyes come in and look at it, it can challenge some assumptions that you've got, and I think we had a couple of our assumptions challenged. And that's a good thing. That's a really good thing. But there was kind of like this sequential aha among the group, and there were a bunch of us. There was the realization that we had to have some of the early on conversations in the process in order to understand the choices that laid in front of us. You want a collective, yeah, that's where we need to be focused, because look at what it's telling us. Look at the lifelong value of this donation. So if we can retain this person into year 3, the data tells us we'll probably have them for the next 15 years. Wow. You don't know that if you don't do the analytic. You don't know the kinds of nuances that exist in the data if you don't really dive in, and the consultants at Spot-On, they know how to do that. They help train folks how to do that. And so you have collective shared experience, and that's powerful stuff.